Tonight at Hobby, we're going to be playing the Mega Excadrill EX. So we're actually doing a deck profile for my son. He's going to do it. We're going to be recording Leo's matches this evening. So we'll start off deck profile. So
we run 4 Dribble for the Corfa family that lets us get the Genesect out, which is absolutely broken. And getting the Beldams out early is really nice as well.
Sweet. And we got the Mega Excadrill.
2 of those is pretty consistent. You don't really need 3. 3's a bit too overkill and 1's too little, so 3's the sweet spot. 4 Beldam. You're supposed to run this one in the list, but I don't have them and they're really hard to find from Temporal Forces. So I'm just running those ones, but it really doesn't matter. It's just the attack.
It doesn't matter because you just evolve into them, eh?
Then we run 4 Matang, the heart of the deck. This is what makes it good.
Yep.
And
we use that Metal Maker
ability
to charge our energy around.
She's broken. 1 Metagross. Some lists run 2. I prefer 1 just because you're not really using it. They do run obviously 2 because prize, but not really. 2 Genesect. Pretty reasonable. Card's broken. 1 Pheasantipity. Some lists don't. I think it's kind of nice. Cruel Hour is cool as well. And then the little treat is Mega Skarmory, which is quite cool. Because it ties the game together because we don't really run that much Boss's Orders in the deck. So the Mega Skarmory is a nice inclusion, hitting out the Pheasantipities and maybe even playing a mirror match and KOing the Genesect.
It's a nice tech because it can hit the bench.
Yeah.
And hit those for 2 prizes. So we're into items now.
So we're on 4 Buddy Poffin. Just consistency mainly is really nice.
Yep.
4 Jumbo Ice Cream. Some lists run a variety of different ones. I like 4. 2 Pokegear. Getting the supporters is nice. 1 Ultra Ball. Just a bit of consistent, especially running the Mega Skarmory. 1 Switch because your opponent most of the time bosses your Genesect.
You don't want to get trapped.
Yeah, which is a bit dumb.
Into supporters now.
So 4 Lilies, pretty
standard.
Yep.
4 Petrol.
4 Petrol, very nice. 1 Boss, because that Skarmory, we don't really need that many. 1 Kieran. I have thought about chucking another one in there, but I don't really see the need. 1 Hero's Cape is our ace spec. That card is broken in the deck.
Yeah, so that'll give like 100 HP to anyone.
440 HP on our Mega Excadrill. Pretty chill.
And how many energies, Leo?
18 energies.
18 energies. All right, let's get to Hobby. Wish us luck.
So here I'm versing against Excadrill Mirror Match. Pretty goofy matchup. Don't really know how to play this matchup, so it's kind of like a tester kind of match. I don't really know what to go. I think I choose second, which is wrong. I probably should have gone first to evolve into a Mega Excadrill is definitely way better. But yeah. As you can see, he does have the Stevens Beldams because I've stolen them. So yeah.
Yeah, we're both playing the same deck, and I've had to buy 2 of everything. So this is me, father versus son. It's funny we match each other, but this video is just going to be Leo and Leo's matches throughout the evening. So Leo's going to take over, and I'll shut up.
As you can see there, I did top deck the Genesect, so that's just completely broken. And there, I was kind of thinking of what to play. My dad does let me attach the Steel Energy onto the active Pokemon instead of the bench, because that was a massive misplay. So, shout outs to my dad for that, because that was pretty bad. And then I just Petrol for the Heroescape. I was going to chuck up my hand, but then I just I think I either put it on my hand or I put it on the board. And I was just kind of thinking of what to do with it. So I do attach it, and then I was kind of thinking about it. I just pass and then chuck the energy on the active, because that was a massive misplay. My dad plays Poffin, broken, gets another Drillbur. Now this is where I was kind of sitting here going oh, okay. Now it's kind of scary, him evolving into the Excadrill. So I was kind of like thinking of how I could counter that by putting something forward and maybe even trying to KO him. But he just passes, so I go just sweet. And I just like play the Hero's Cape, attach, and then just Genesect, which is just crazy. So I just get I get the 2 Bellums because I got the Genesect. I used the Genesect last turn for Mega Excadrill and another Metang. And then I got 2 energies there, which is broken. And then I use another Metang, and I don't get anything from that one. And then I use the last one, and I pull 1 energy, which is broken, because that's how much I need. But, yeah. And then I just mill the top 2. And it was a Lily and a Steel energy, which is, this card that he would have top decked would have been a Lily. So, I'm glad I milled that. He's using Genesect for Metangs. And he is running Proxy Mega Excadrills. So that's why we're filming me tonight as well. Also, I'm just a better player in general, so that's why.
Savage. You're talking, Leah. You're dead here.
Yeah, I'm just thinking. So he's just using the Lily there. And his hand's pretty bad. He's got 3 other Lilies in his hand, or 2 other Lilies, which is not very good. He pulls nothing off of the Metangs, which is terrible. He does get the steel. He does get a couple of steel energies to attach the Metang and the Excadrill. But yeah. And this is where my dad misplayed. He told me on the way back that he should have played Ultra Ball for Drillbur. He said he doesn't know why he didn't. Because obviously, as you can see, I have an Excadrill and I can just 1-hit KO. And if you didn't see there, I just top decked to cure him, which is the 1 card that I needed to KO the Excadrill. So that's pretty broken. And if you haven't seen the deck list, I do run 1 Curran, and that was the 1 card that I needed, and I just top decked it. So yeah.
Yeah, pretty much from there, it means that I've hit him, but he can stay on with 10 HP. But he's just going to one-shot me with the Kieran. So it's pretty much GG's because I didn't put a Drillbur down to hit again. I probably could have played it out with hitting with Metang and then going into another Mega Excadrill. In hindsight's 2020. But yeah, it just felt pretty brutal. I also would have had to draw perfectly myself into like a Kieran, and also he could have had Ice Cream on the next turns. But this is such a great game, a good mirror match.
Yeah, and as you can see there, I had a full other Excadrill ready on the bench if he was to KO my active, and there you can just see his scoops. And then my second match is into Cooper. He's playing Dragon Ball and obviously starts with Bidoo, which is amazing. And he was he said before we started the match, he was like, "Are you playing Trolley?" And I was like, "Nah." And he was like, "Good," because I picked first, and I want to be going first if you play Trolley. But personally, I like Hero's Cape better because Trolley just can sometimes, because mostly of item lock, but also I find Hero's Cape a little bit more better personally. But yeah, I haven't really tried Trolley that much, but yeah, I reckon Hero's Cape's one of the best aspects for this deck. As you can see, I do pass my turn with an absolute broken board. No Genesect though, which definitely is a big pain, especially going first. He benches 2 Droopies, which is pretty scary. And then, yeah, 8 cards by Lily, which is insane. Poffin, Lily, crazy. And then it's my turn. I just evolve into a Midtang and just straight Lily. And I got the Hero's Cape there, so that's pretty nice as well. So I'm just drawing my Lily. Just drawing 8 cards. Absolutely broken. Get him another Metang. And then I just attach for turn. But unfortunately, I think I don't have the Excadrill. So that was kind of bad. So you can see me leaning over, kind of like laughing because it's kind of pretty terrible. And then I just use the Metang and chuck energies on there, which I probably shouldn't have done. Like, I probably should have pushed something else forward, but I ice cream there, and then I realized I'm item locked, so I put that on, and you can see that I'm such an amazing player. And then I can't remember what the attack's called, but it does 50 damage, so I KO'd his Badoo, which is super random. It's quite pretty goofy. As you can see there, he benches the Moltres, and I'm putting my hands on my head going, oh great, this is wonderful. Moltres, and then he bosses my Metang and just hits it. Yeah, and then he uses Unfair Stamp. So I draw 2 cards. And I draw a Metang and a Steel Energy, which is pretty nice. And then, but the thing is, I don't have an Excadrill, so that's a bit of a pain. Yeah, and then I just evolved into Metang and passed because my hand was pretty much diabolical. It's pretty bad. And then he just uses Crispin to attach some energies on his board. And yeah, and then he attacks, which is not the best because I'm kind of trapped of what to do here. Because Metang has a 2 retreat cost, which is pretty annoying. So I'm kind of trapped in the active, and I think I just pass. And then he's thinking of what to do. I'm thinking of what to do, of how I can get an Excadrill, because this is bad. And then he judges me. So you get to draw 4 cards. And I think I get the Genesect. I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure I do. Or get something to get the Genesect, or a Lily. But yeah, I think I have something in hand to get there. So he benches the Badoo and then just retreats for the Badoo and just Itchy Pollens, which resistance, I don't take damage, but I am still item locked. And then I just go straight Lily, so I still didn't get the Excadrill or the Metagross to get the Excadrill. But 8 cards or 6 cards clutch, and I get 2 Metagross in hand, so I place down one of them, and then I use that. I'm just double checking to see if I have 5, and then I play Metal Maker, chuck a couple of energies on my active, so I can not only get out the active if I need to, but also just getting that ready. And then yeah, I put at least 3 on there, or 2, and then I chuck a 3rd one on there. That's when I do it. And then yeah, I just play it again, and then fail, and then I use that for Excadrill, and I get a Metagross, I think. Or another Excadrill, and then I think I have Metagross in hand, which is nice. Yeah, and then I Ice Cream to heal the damage off, which is pretty nice. And then yeah, I think I do 60 to KO that Badoo. And then I was just talking to him if I still put another Pokemon forward, because the first attack of Genesect does 60, and your opponent chooses a Pokemon to put forward. And I was just like talking about that. Yeah, which doesn't really matter. But I was just double checking. Plays Ultra Ball. Gets himself another Dracloak. Recon Directive is absolutely broken. And then he uses Recon. This is one of his cards. He's thinking of what to do. He's got Pole in hand, so he's got what he needs. He was thinking about benching the Meowth. When he benches the Meowth, and I think he gets a Lily here, but I don't think he actually ends up playing the Lily. He's thinking the Rosa, but he gets the Lily's Determination. yeah, and then he plays Crispin instead to get the energies on his Pult and retreat the Moltres. So yeah. And then, yeah, he was just thinking if he should evolve the Pult, and then he just does. And then he retreats, goes into the Pult, and I think he just KOs my Metagross, and then puts some damage on the Metang. And then, yeah, at this point, I put the Excadrill forward, and then I just draw. I'm kind of thinking of what to do. I bench another Boundum. I was thinking if I should bench that if he's going to KO me, but it doesn't really matter because he's going to try and KO that Metang anyways, so I don't think it mattered. Plus, getting those Metangs is pretty ideal, especially for those energies onto that benched Mega Excadrill. And then I just get a Metang with the Genesect, Metallic Signal, and then, yeah, I use Metal Maker to attach the Metang. I'm trying to charge up as much energy on there as I can for Ice Cream, but I made a mistake. You can only use Ice Cream for the active. I knew something was up when I did that, and then I petrol for Ice Cream and then realized and chucked it back in my hand and then looked what else I could just grab. I just grabbed Boss for next turn. I just chucked it in my hand, which kind of actually helped me more than getting that. That actually saved me the game. And yeah, I just attack, knock out, and then he just skips the game because, yeah, I had the cards. Next opponent, I'm playing against Slowking, Slowpoke, which is a definitely really cool deck that I've seen. I've seen Slowpoke versions, Festival Lead and stuff. Seems like a really cool deck. And yeah, I was versing it against it. And he starts with the Latias and passes. And then, yeah, I just attach the Steel Energy, Lily. And then just draw my 8 cards. Absolutely broken. And then I do get a Poffin. I use the Poffin. A couple of Beldums. And then I bench the Genesect because I did get it in hand. Normally you would call for family for Genesect if you didn't have it in hand. But I already had it in hand, so I just benched it. And then I just chucked down Beldum. I probably should have called for family for Genesect so I could thin my deck a little bit more. And yeah, he just showed me his hand before he lilied. And he had like a pretty bad hand. He had like another Latias in hand. And he was just like... And then I made a joke that Latias was chasing him. And then, what do you know? He pulled Latias again. So, Latias really is by his side this game. And you can see he gets rid of it in a Lily's Pearl. And he gets a Slowpoke, attaches Telepathic, and searches his deck for 2 other Slowpokes. So I'm kind of here thinking that he's playing Slowbro. But then later he does put down a Slowking. And then I was kind of like, oh, okay, he's playing Slowking. And I got kind of a little bit aware of him having that, which is pretty scary because of the other stuff, like, yeah, that and Metagross and stuff that can do 300. And yeah, it's just really scary, so I was a bit aware of that. But at this moment, I was thinking he was playing Slowbro. So I was kind of playing it like a bit slow, like I was attaching energies to all my bench Pokemon, my active Pokemon and stuff. Just so I can use the first attack and 200.
Leo's just been sick, he's just having a drink. He's doing well. You're doing well, Leo. It's hard doing voiceovers, eh?
Yeah. He just flipped the script to draw 3. Because I knocked out one of his Slowpokes for, I think, 90 and mill 2. I mill one of his switches, which in the long run is pretty bad because he needed one of those in endgame. Just a heads up. Seeing what to play, he plays Petrol. And he searches out for a secret box, which is pretty scary. Knowing the deck that I'm playing against is terrifying when he can get every card that he needs. Academy at night and stuff. And then he just uses the secret box to get a Pokepad and a Larry's skill, and then Academy at night. As soon as I see the Academy at night, I'm kind of like, oh, Slowking, okay. And then he tells me as well, he's got Slowking in his deck as well, and I'm like, a little bit more scared. Wondrous Patch, then he uses Pokepad, and he gets the Slowking. And that's when I'm kind of like, uh-oh. And he chucks it forward. And then he instantly... Yep. Oh, he just uses the attack. Yep. He just attacks me. I was kind of aware of his bench Slowking, trying to do plays where I was thinking of a play to attack the bench EXs like Fez and Latias. But in the long run, I just didn't have the cards to do that. And I thought it was actually better to go for the Slowbros and the Slowkings, which definitely was the right play, as you will see in the future. I use the Dangs Metal Maker, stock up on the energies. I'm running 18 energies, so it's pretty nice consistency of getting those energies. You can see there, drop the card on the ground because I'm a professional player, and I am stacking my deck by chucking cards on the ground because I'm just that good. Jumbo Ice Cream, and then yeah, I just heal, working out quick maths because I'm intelligent, and yep, I just attack and it's his turn. I just do 200 damage. I had Curum in hand, and I was thinking to try and do a play where I was going to use Curum and then use the 90 damage so I can mill 2 plus knockout on the Slowking. But in the long run, that didn't really work. So, because I had to play supporters, and then he incidentally does a misplay where he does Academy at night and chucks a thing on his thing, and then he uses Larry's skill, and then that means that the Academy at night doesn't work. So yeah, and then I kind of like say to him, I'll just say like chuck it in your discard or whatever, just do whatever you want. It was like sweet. And he just chucks it in your discard. I think I was like, oh, we can take that back. And he's like, oh yeah, so I'll discard it. And I was like, oh yeah, whoops. Because I forgot that you have to discard it with Larry's skill. And then he's using Larry's skill. And I think you get a supporter and a Pokemon. And he's getting the Cypher Maniac and the... So he gets those ones. And then uses that one. And then KOs both active Pokemon. So I was kind of a bit scared of that because it KO'd me 3 prize cards. And then yeah, I kind of just bossed the Slowpoke and then bench another Drillbur. I played the Poffin before that just to like thin my deck. And yeah, at this point I can just do 150 to KO his Slowpoke, and then he has no more Slowpokes on his board, so it's kind of like favored to me right now because he has to like get like the perfect cards, and he has discarded some key pieces that he needs, like Night Stretches and switches and stuff that I discarded in the early game. She definitely needed. And then he Cypher Maniacs, uses Fez, and then puts forward Mega Kangaskhan, so you can use Run Errand for a couple of cards. And then he uses Wondrous Batch to attach an energy to his Latias, because he's got no more benched attackers. So he's going to try and go forward with the Latias. And then he Night Stretches in a Slowpoke, uses another Wondrous Batch, attaches it to the Slowpoke. And then, yeah, just attacks me with Latias, which I think does 200 damage. And I don't think it can attack next turn. I think that's the attack. But I know it does 200. And then it's my turn. I just put that forward. And yeah, I think I don't have the necessary energy to knock him out right now, which is quite annoying. I need one more energy and I attach for turn. I was looking at his discard to see what attack I should use and what play I should use. Kind of saying what resources he has. And he does have a bit of bad resources like Night Stretcher and Switch that I discarded, which he kind of needed, he said. So I'm kind of thinking of what to do, because I could either do 200 or I was thinking just do 90, and I just did 90 and then milled the top two, which was a petrol and a red card, just trying to get rid of his resources so he can't really play what he wants. Yeah, and he's kind of thinking of what to do. And there's 90 damage on the Latias from me doing the first attack of Excadrill, which mills 2 cards and does 90. He's thinking of what to do, as the big scary Excadrill is in the active, but he decides to boss it for the Genesect, which he tried to storm me out, but unfortunately I do have what's it called again? The supporter.
You've got the Karen.
I run Curran, which does 30 more damage plus
Or you can choose.
or switches my Pokemon, which is broken. So I do have that, which just gets me out of the active.
It's like a 10 less of a black belt plus a switch in the one card.
It's kind of like and I just put the Curran down and then GG's.
There we go. Thank you very much.